Hey folks, Hezadine here, personal trainer from Hitters Fitness. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 key principles of training. Right, these are principles that I highly consider as I create my fitness programs for my clients, so that they get so that their training is more effective and they get the most out of their workouts. So the first principle I'm going to talk about is it specifically addresses you and your specific goals and needs, right? So I might ask you something like, have you had any past injuries? If so, are there any exercises that are off limits? I might do a physical test to figure that out, or even do a test to see what your mobility and joint stability are like. How well you perform fundamental movements. I might have a look at that and take that into consideration. Also, I'll ask you, why are you training? Are you doing this just so that you can move better and pain-free? Are you doing this for some sort of competition, like a marathon or something like that? Or are you just trying to look good for the beach, right? What does looking good for the beach look like to you? Is it, bigger shoulders and arms? Is it, chiseled abs? So this is what's referred to as the training principle of individualization, right? The program needs to address you and your goals and needs, right? Maybe even taking into consideration, like, some people, they have the time, or they can make time for 5-6 days a week, right? Or other people, like, you might have like 3 kids and they're all young, and it's kind of a tough thing to juggle around. So, but your you time is limited to probably 3 days a week for the gym, 3 to 4 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So that's also factored in as well. So you can't simply just take your friend's training program, even if you have the same goals as your friend, and just apply that to yourself, because everybody's unique, everybody's different, and what your friend needs to achieve those results is probably different from you. So training principle of individualization, that's number 1. Number 2, let's say your goal is to be able to do 10 pull-ups with strict form. Right now you're only able to do about 6, right? You need to know how to get there. Any good program with a specific performance-related goal is going to be focused on the specific goal in mind. Meaning, if you want to improve the number of pull-ups you are able to do, pull-ups need to be heavily featured into your program, and also more frequently than other exercises. And also, your back needs to be targeted more than other muscle groups. This is the training principle of specificity. Okay, you need to specifically focus on your goal. Okay. The third principle is the FIT principle. It's a acronym, FITT. So the F stands for frequency, the I stands for intensity, the first T stands for time, and the last T stands for type, right? So for each workout, or even each exercise, if you want to break it down like that, you can address each of these into the just try to address each of these factors, right? So I'll look at how frequently you perform this workout, how many times a week. I'd look at it that way. what is the intensity of the workout or even specific exercises. So 1 rep maxes, RPE, you know. By time, I mean how long your workout is, and by type, it's like what type of workout is it, right? So, for example, in the pull-ups example, or like let's say it's a push-pull workout, right? So that's the type of workout, right? So push-pull workout, right? So that's the last T. Going to the F, that's the frequency. How many times per week are you doing a push-pull workout? 2 times a week, okay? The intensity, let's say for most of the exercises, is 7 to 8 RPE. RPE is rate of perceived exertion, so it essentially, like, it's a 1 to 10 scale that works for most. Like, you know, like, you know, if you're going upwards to 7 to 8 to 10 reps, you can sort of figure out your RPE by seeing how many reps you have left in the tank. So let's say I could do 10 reps in an exercise, and I'm able to, but I just banged out 8 in this set. Then then the RPE was 8, right? So, you know, on a 1 to 10 scale, it's pretty convenient to have that, but it's a little tricky with my pull-ups example, since you're only able to do 6 pull-ups in this example, but you can kind of figure it out. Anyway, I digress. So that's the intensity. We got to FI. So push-pull is the last T, and then time. So it's an hour workout. Okay, so that's the push-pull workout. You can also apply this to specific exercises, right? So let's stick with pull-ups for the example. So that was the type. So that's the type of exercise. It's pull-ups. The F is frequency. So let's say you're doing it 2 to 3 times a week. Or you can even break it down into you know, how many sets per week, right? So 8 sets per week, let's say. And intensity, let's say it's a 7 RPE. And for time, let's say each set can take 40 seconds with a minute's rest in between. So we'll say it's about 6 minutes long. 6 minutes long. Okay. While you're doing pull-ups. Okay, so the next principle is progressive overload. This principle illustrates that you need to gradually increase the stimulus in the exercise in order to get progress. It could be, for example, increasing the total number of reps that you are performing at a specific intensity, or it could be just increasing the intensity, right? So let's say you know increasing the weight, right? If you're doing pull-ups, then like you got like a 10-pound dumbbell between you, or you have like a dip belt and you add like 10 pounds to it, then you're increasing the stimulus in the exercise. Or increasing the intensity. Could be, just trying to stay on track with my notes here. The idea is measurable improvement over some time. So in the pull-ups example, let's say you did 4 sets of 3 reps in the pull-ups. This week you can add 1 to 2 reps on your last set of pull-ups, and each week you could add a rep or 2 to your total number of pull-ups on that day. Alright, so that is the progressive overload principle. It's consistently increasing your capacity. or increasing increasingly challenging yourself, gradually challenging yourself so that you can increase your capacity in the long term. The last one is recovery. This is key for any training program. It's very important. Sometimes is overlooked as well. When you work out, you are putting your body under stress, and that means you're fatiguing your body, and you're also doing damage to it, right? Hopefully, in the terms of in the form of micro tears to your tissue. Sometimes you get that burning sensation that lasts a couple of days. Part of that is are those micro tears to your tissues in your body, and after doing this damage to your body, you need adequate rest in order to handle the same amount of stimulus or gradually more intense stimulus the next time around. You need to rest well, and in order to, so that's what's needed. So it's recovery plus progressive overload that leads to progress, right? So you just can't do it with progressive overload. Your body can't handle that. Handle that much. Eventually, you might hit a wall. You might hit some sort of a plateau, or you just might injure yourself, right? So you need the progressive overload plus the recovery in order to get progress, right? So that leads to what's called supercompensation. That's your body's way of adapting to the increased stimulus that you are exposing it to, right? As you rest, your body's recovery will make you stronger in order to able to tackle the next task, right? So the only way to achieve supercompensation is through adequate rest after progressive overload, and I can't really emphasize that enough for people who just keep wanting to go hard in the gym all the time, right? So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I hope this information helped you. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment below, and yeah, look out for some more videos.